Let's just address the elephant in the room. As you guys can see, I have two massive stacks of books in my lap. These were all gifted to me for my birthday this year by my amazing, incredible, and generous family members. So we're going to do a haul today, and I'm so excited about all of these books. And if you're wondering, yes, the weight of my TBR has become almost too much to bear. I feel as though I am being smothered beneath its mass, but I am so excited about all of these books nonetheless, so let's get into it. Now, the main perpetrator of this haul is my younger sister, Cara, who is also an avid reader, and she spoiled me so badly this year, but I am so thankful. So I'm going to go through everything that she got me first, starting with Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I recently finished reading Promise Me Sunshine and absolutely loved it. That is one of my favorite romances I have read all year. It was truly incredible, so I have been craving more Cara Bastone, and this is unfortunately her only other book that's currently out. I wish I could read like 10 books by her. Now, I have heard that this book has the pregnancy trope, which is not something that I am personally a fan of, and that's why I've never picked this one up in the past, but I think Cara Bastone has sold me with her writing style, so I'm still really looking forward to this, and I honestly think I'm really going to like it. Next up, we have Run by Blake Crouch. This is actually a book that I have already read. My sister was so thoughtful, and she picked up some of my favorites that I've never had physical copies of, so I was so excited to add this one to my shelves. This might just be my favorite Blake Crouch book that I have read, so I was so excited to get a copy for my shelves. This is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi thriller that's very reminiscent of like The Walking Dead or The Last of Us, which are two of my all-time favorite TV shows. This focuses on the very early days of an apocalypse, which is a niche thing that I absolutely crave in the books and media that I consume. This is one of those books that you pick up and it's just impossible to put down. It was just go, go, go from page one, and I had such a fun time reading this one. Next up, she did get me a copy of the Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook by Matt Dinniman. This is the third book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and it was the next one that I needed to get to. This is a series that my sister has read recently, and she has absolutely devoured these books. I cannot believe the speed at which she consumed these massive tomes. She literally read this entire series in like a month. It was crazy. But she told me she thought that I would like it too, so I've been giving it a chance. This isn't my usual genre that I would go for, but I can honestly say I've been very pleasantly surprised with the books that I've read so far in this series. And I actually just finished reading this book, and I think at this point I am sold and I will be continuing with the entire series. I'm very excited to see where this story goes. It's such a unique experience reading these books. And if you're wondering, yes, I have been listening to these on audio, and the audiobooks are absolutely incredible. Next up, another one that I've already read, we have Comfort Me with Apples by Catherynne and Valente. This is actually a novella. This is a 5-star read for me. One of my favorite short stories I have ever read. This still sticks in my mind to this day, and I read it a couple years ago now. I have always wanted a copy of this for my shelves, but I've just never brought myself to spend that much money on a tiny book like this, so I was so excited to receive this one for my birthday this year. This is a horror, and it's honestly best to know nothing going into it. It's one of those stories where you don't fully understand everything that's happening until everything clicks at the end, and the payoff was so satisfying. I would highly recommend this to literally everybody. Please read this. The next book that she got me is Shark Heart. I have not read this one yet, but I have had my eye on it for so long. This sounds like such an interesting concept for a book. It is about this couple, and the man is slowly turning into a shark. Yeah, you heard that right. He is slowly transitioning from human to shark, which I know sounds really outrageous and crazy, but I believe that that is a common ailment in this society. I believe it's supposed to be a metaphor for like Alzheimer's or other diseases like that that slowly take our loved ones away from us. And I feel like this is going to be a very tender, heartwarming, and probably gut-wrenching story. I just already know I'm gonna love this. She also got me All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I am slowly making my way through S.A. Cosby's backlist. I've loved everything that I've read by him so far. S.A. Cosby has this very interesting writing style that is so brutal and to the point and almost like a gut punch, but it's so impactful, and I can see the scenes from his books so vividly in my mind. He does like crime mystery thrillers, and whenever I read his books, I'm very much reminded of watching like crime series on Netflix or HBO Max. Think like Ozark, Power, Breaking Bad, that kind of vibe. That's exactly how I feel like his books are. They're so entertaining, so fast-paced, and they just suck you in from page one, so I am so excited to read this one. Another one that I have already read is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. Now, I know I've recently said that I am done with Riley Sager. I feel like his writing has really gone downhill for me in the last couple years, but this is one of the very first books that I read by him, and it's honestly stayed my favorite to this day. I remember really enjoying this story. I've always wanted a copy of it because I just really love the pink cover, so I'm super excited to add this one to my shelves. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you read anything that Riley Sager has come out with recently, but this one is still really good and I would still recommend it. Next up, we have Monstrilio by Gerardo, Sámano, Córdova. This is another one that I have not read yet, but I am so excited for. I have had my eye on this book for forever. I first heard about this from Books and Lala. She is one of my favorite creators. I love her content. She comes up with the most creative and interesting video ideas, but anyway, I got this recommendation from her a while back and I've wanted to read it for such a long time. I believe that this follows the story of a mother who loses her son and then she carves out a little piece of his lung and nurses it back to life, and it forms this little monster, which I believe is what is meant to be on the cover right there. This sounds like another perfect weird girl read. I think I'm gonna have to save this one for spooky season, but I just know I'm going to love this book so much. I cannot wait to read it. Next up, we have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Of course, I have already read this book and loved it, but I have never bought a physical copy for myself. I've been meaning to for such a long time to complete my collection, and I just haven't yet. So I was so excited to get this one for my birthday. Finally, I can have the full Hunger Games collection displayed beautifully on my shelves. I just love these covers. I love these characters. I love this world, and I will absolutely devour anything that Suzanne Collins writes ever. Next up, we have Red Rising, another very popular series. And this is a series that I've been meaning to start for so long, but I just haven't yet. I've tried the audiobooks. I don't think the audiobook is going to work for me, but I do think there is a good chance that I'm going to enjoy reading these books physically. So I was so excited to get a copy of this. Honestly, I don't know what this is about. I know it's like an epic sci-fi series. I think it takes place in space. I don't know, but I'm very excited to find out. I'll probably be saving this one for a little while and won't get to it till like winter maybe. I want to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl before I jump into another big series like this, but you can bet I will absolutely be finishing this book before the end of this year. Trust. Next up, we have Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. This is a young adult fantasy, I believe, romantasy maybe. I believe it has some very gothic vibes to it. I think this is going to be perfect for spooky season. I've had my eye on this one for a while as well. I've heard some really good things. I don't know too much about it, but I just feel like this is going to be my vibe. Next up, another one that I have already read, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This is one of my all-time favorite mystery thrillers. I loved this book so much. It's very wintry. It's very spooky. It had me on the edge of my seat the entire time that I was reading this. I gave this a 5 stars. I know it's a little bit early to start thinking about winter, but just keep this one tucked away in the back of your mind if you need a good thriller this winter. This was 10 out of 10, no notes. Absolutely loved this book, and I would highly recommend this. Next up, we have Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I don't know anything about this one either, other than the fact that it is a Greek retelling, which is something that I have been getting into a lot recently. I've recently finished reading Madeline Miller's backlist, and I absolutely devoured every single one of those books. So this was the next one that I had my eye on. I've heard really good things about this. I think I'm going to love it. I can't wait to read it. And if you guys have any recommendations for your favorite Greek retellings, leave those in the comments below because I am definitely on the hunt for more of these. Okay, and then the last book that my sister got me was Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. This was actually in my TBR for this month, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get to it. I am still so excited to read this though. This cover is just absolutely stunning. Maybe my favorite book cover of all time. I believe this is about vampires, and I also think that it is a historical fiction horror, and that just sounds right up my alley. I need more horror books in my life. That is a genre that I could definitely expand my horizons on. I don't think I've read a horror book that I haven't enjoyed. I just haven't read very many of them, so I'm really excited to add another one to my list. Okay, and then my parents also gifted me with a trip to Barnes & Noble, which was so generous, and I picked out a bunch of books that I am very excited about, so we're going to go through all of these. So first up, we have First Time Caller by B.K. Borrison. This is a romance book that has been making its rounds all over the internet. I have heard nothing but incredible reviews about this book. Everybody seems to love it. I believe this is about like a single mother who meets the love interest through like a radio talk show, which sounds super fun and interesting, so I'm very excited to get to this one. Next up, we have Well Actually by Mazey Eddings. Okay, this book I am so excited about, and I'll tell you why. I heard that this is loosely based off of the chicken shop date between Andrew Garfield and Amelia de Molenberg, which is probably my favorite video on the entire internet. I don't think I've ever shipped two people more than I shipped the two of them. Anytime I see a video of them on that red carpet, you had best believe I stopped scrolling and I am locked in. I am so excited to read this, literally just for that reason alone, but I did read the first page of this as well, and the writing style seems like it's something that I'm really going to enjoy. I've also heard only amazing things about this. This one is definitely like up there on my priority list. I'll probably be reading this one very soon. Next up, we have Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. I've been looking for my next Octavia E. Butler read ever since I finished Kindred and absolutely loved it. I gave that book a 5 stars this year. It was fantastic. I read the back of this one in Barnes & Noble, and it turns out that this is about vampires, and I have been absolutely fiending for my next vampire read after finishing Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. So I was immediately sold on this. This is another one that I cannot wait to get to. I know I keep saying that about all of these books, but truly I cannot wait to read all of these books. Next up, I picked up Check and Mate and
The Love Hypothesis,
both by Ali Hazelwood. These are the last 2 Ali Hazelwood books that I needed to complete my collection of hers. I am currently working my way through her backlist with the goal of completing all of her books by the end of this year. So I will definitely be getting to these very soon. This one is a YA about chess players, I believe. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this. It's been a very long time since I have read a young adult romance book, but I have high hopes because it's Ali Hazelwood and I love her writing style. So we'll definitely be getting to that one soon. And then Love on the Brain is part of her little trio of STEM romance novels. I loved Theoretically so much. That's my favorite Ali book, so I have very high hopes for this one. I still have yet to read The Love Hypothesis, but I will be reading that one this month, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, very excited to complete Ali Hazelwood's backlist. We're getting down to the end here, folks. Next up, we have One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns, both by Rachel Gillig. I have actually already read One Dark Window, but when I read it, I don't really feel like I gave it the proper time or attention that it deserved. So I'm going to be doing a reread of this one this fall. And then I got Two Twisted Crowns to complete out the duology. This is a very dark, gothic, atmospheric fantasy duology, which is what Rachel Gillig does best. I'm so excited to read these and really give them the proper attention that they deserve because I know they're going to be incredible. And this is another one where you can mark my words, I will definitely be finishing these this year. And then I wanted to pick out a couple books just solely based off of the cover alone. So the first one that really caught my eye was Things Left Unsaid by Sarah Jafari. I know absolutely nothing about this. I assume that it is a lit fic. I know it is a new release. And yeah, I know nothing more, but I am very excited to read this. And this one is at the very tippy top of my priority list. I will for sure be reading this one next month. I'm very excited to give you my thoughts on it because I haven't heard anybody talk about this. And one more time for this cover because it is just so beautiful. And the last book that I got for my birthday this year was another one that I chose solely based off of the cover. And I have to warn you, it might be a little bit of a jump scare. The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. I have never read this book. I have never seen this movie. I thought that this would be so fun to read and watch the movie in October. And also this cover just really caught my eye. I couldn't leave without it. It is just this neon green. It's so creepy. I love that the text is in a cross. It also glows in the dark. Hello. Obviously this had to come home with me. And like I said, I'm trying to read more horror. So literally what better place to start than with The Exorcist? I'm very excited for this. Also terrified because I've heard that this is a very scary book, but I think I can handle it. So this will be happening in October. Trust. And there is absolutely no way that I'm going to try to pick all of those up and balance them again because that was really hard to do the first time around. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you guys next time.